We are live. Get long, stay strong. Get short, get dead. 26 charts you're going to need for the next rally in crypto. Spring is here. Want to know more? Don't go anywhere. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, make sure you hit the like button. We are aiming for 3 p.m. Eastern, anywhere from between 1:30 and 3 p.m. Eastern every day. We're going to firm it up soon, but we appreciate everybody coming in today for Friday. This is your weekend chart package, and this chart package could actually extend out weeks. These are the charts of the crypto reversal. You're going to want to check it out. So we have Bull Runner first on the stream. Welcome. Mr. Rocks, Shizzy, Joseph Ryan from California, Richard from Augusta, Georgia. Welcome. Kenneth Phillips, thanking me, and I'm thanking you for being here. AZ, SFG from Mississippi. Welcome. Luis, feeling bullish. Feel when they tried to hit it this morning. Everybody giving me a hard time on Twitter. 2022 was the dip, people. If you're looking for the dip, you got to have a time machine. Norway is here. Matt, Zoran, Rave Song Records in the house. Don't Ask 6 from Oklahoma. Mike digging the green shirts in all sorts of varieties. All right. Brian from Los Angeles. Hold is here. More people from Oklahoma. Welcome. Boomer Sooner. Sarah checking in from Arizona. Nerfball, good evening. Jamal. We have Santa Cruz in the house. Belgium and Spain. Reverend Flashback are here. Mr. Moby Dick, right? Girlfriend and market update. What else is there, man? That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that. Spin is in. Spin is in. Okay, news. Cramer. God, this poor guy. So I'm thinking to myself, growing up a Giants fan, should I cheer for the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles in American football? Because that's Cramer's team, and the guy is having I had a period like this, but I mean the guy is having like the worst rolling 12-month period as an analyst like I've ever seen. Like it's almost like whatever comes out of his mouth, the market does the opposite, like instantaneously. And as soon as I say, you know what, I'm going to give Cramer some love, I'm going to say, go Eagles, even though to a certain degree that's blasphemy. The guy comes out and doubles down on crypto being manipulated higher. Okay. He wouldn't touch crypto. Jim. Okay. Here is the point. Cramer jokes aside. What do you think QE was? When Ben Bernanke started QE in March of 2019, we didn't understand what QE was. Like Ben Bernanke said, okay, we're going to come out and do quantitative easing. Well, I didn't understand what that meant. No one understood that. Okay. Well, what it meant was the Fed was going to inject money into the banking system. They would print money, buy bonds from primary dealers, flood the system with money. And even though nobody's ever figured it out, it is common knowledge that they had a stealth mechanism for hoovering up S&P futures. Bernanke wouldn't let it go down for more than a week. Then he wouldn't let it go down for more than a day. But that was fine. That wasn't manipulation. Seriously, crypto does an up-only rally after going down only for 12 months, and it's manipulation? Dude, there's no sellers in the market. So I don't know why everybody in Legacy is on this manipulation thing. I mean, the ECB manipulated the European government bond markets until interest rates went negative. That means if you gave money, if you loaned money to a European government like Greece you had to pay Greece to hold your money, or you had to pay Italy to hold your money. That was manipulation. Crypto is just going up. White House calls on Congress to step up its efforts on regulation because energy policy, national defense, common sense policies on economics, that we're not doing that. Let's do crypto regulation instead because we can't seem to do anything else right. Right? You have, you're pitting like genders against each other, you know, the sort of the left of American politics is intent on fighting with the right. The president of the United States should not be up at a podium because he's either having medical problems that he's either had recently or he's always had. The White House should worry about communicating its messages and finding a policy that works. That's being polite. But of course, they have to call on Congress to, oh my God, stop crypto. See, when you see this, this is how you know it's going up. Oh, it's being manipulated. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, we should stop it. Okay. We'll see you guys at 30K. Talk to me later. Meanwhile, a political opinion that might just make sense. It's time for the Gerontocracy to retire from Mike Novogratz, the head of the major crypto hedge fund, Galaxy Digital. So Mike is 50 years old, like me, and he's tired of seeing 80-year-old people like Nancy Pelosi, the chief trader at Pelosi Capital Management, and guys like Joe Biden, and they're trying to lump other presidents in there as well, basically saying everybody over the age of 75 should be put out to pasture and not running the country. So it's kind of funny to see a 50-year-old guy in crypto. There's like 3 of them. I'm one of them. Mike's the other one. And I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt that there's someone else out there I don't know about. But it seems funny for an old guy to pick on other old guys. But Mike has a point. 80-year-olds are used to doing things a certain way. And young people probably look at the government and they're disenchanted, which is why young people, in many cases in elementary schools in America, don't want to say the Pledge of Allegiance. They don't want to like do the civilian salute to the flag. So if we got to get the old people out of there to get patriotism back, let's do it. Now, there is a point about Mike that is interesting. Bitcoin's up 43%, and Mike Novogratz is talking about politics in Newsweek. He's not talking about Bitcoin. Why? Well, maybe he's concerned he can't talk about Bitcoin. He can't talk about any type of pump, or he can't cheer for crypto anymore after what happened with the Luna debacle. That's certainly possible. It's also possible that Galaxy Digital and every one of its institutional customers is rampantly hoovering up all the crypto that retail wants to try to short or sell or whatever people are doing. It's like, you know, you're throwing your crypto over the side of the boat and there's like the giant whale, the giant shark, just like, oh yeah, give me some more of that. You'll hear from Mike when Bitcoin's at 30 when he takes profits. Janet Yellen sees recession risk even with improving inflation and jobs. Ruh-roh. Janet Yellen sits on the Financial Stability Committee at the U.S. Treasury. They were worried about what was going on back in October. So if, JP, Jerome Powell, keeps it up, somebody blows up. And Janet's suddenly telling him or trying to give him some room to back off, right? She's reasonably satisfied by numbers as Fed rate hikes. She used to run the Fed. She never meant any printed money she didn't like. But she's having a rut-row moment. Meanwhile, back to bearish sentiment. Coinbase investors fume as CPO cuts out early after pocketing $105 million. So Coinbase executives are like, oh, I want out of crypto. So you could say something's wrong with Coinbase. I kind of doubt it. But everybody's in a big hurry to get out. You should be in a hurry to get in. Who leaves $1 million a year job? Who leaves $1 million a year job at the bottom of a market like in 2009? Who does that? Senator Ted Cruz wants vendors to accept Bitcoin at the Capitol. Very interesting what's going on here. Right-leaning American states, Arizona and Texas, talking about using Bitcoin as legal tender. People getting ready for the undoubted demise of the dollar, or just normal decline in the dollar, unwinding the last uptrend. So you have a vocal minority of people in governments wanting in on Bitcoin. And guess what? The left is with them. New York, which is about as left and as blue as you get, takes leap towards cryptocurrency. Okay? The bill defines digital assets as acceptable options. The bill also lays out guidelines for use of cryptocurrencies by state agencies. Gee, do governments need money? Do they need an investment that's going to go up after the 20% drop in 60-40 portfolios? I wonder. Big lesson here. The far left, New York, and the far right, Ted Cruz, are saying the same thing. They're talking about crypto. They're talking about freedom. And everyone's bearish? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, and now we're bearish again. Crypto firm slashes headcount by 10%. So let's leave Coinbase. Let's get out. Everyone's out. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's short. Okay. Nice. Whatever. All right. Let's go to PowerPoint. It's like, it's exhausting making fun of people in the news. Just get some charts going up here. These are the 25 charts that you are going to need. I'm going to Bitboy's book signing in Austin, if anybody's going to be there. And guess what? I'm bringing these charts with me. Stand in line and give them the 22 charts or the 25 charts that you need. So let's check in before I roll. Joseph Ryan looking for Cardano. I got it. Duilo's here from Madrid. Welcome. Okay. RC Rex is here. Nice to see you. Nick. Bitboy Al, welcome. Willimeter is here. Okay. James says he plans the day around his market update. And Joseph Ryan is 58. So I was right. There are 3 50-year-olds in crypto. Welcome. Joan of America, boo to you. Welcome. All right. Chef Bang Studios. Wolf of Crypto. Grandpa Rock in the house. Larry Summers, a very, very smart dude who used to be Treasury Secretary, says on Twitter, I don't think it's a time to be committing to rate hikes. Former Treasury Secretary urged the Federal Reserve to refrain from signaling its next move after an expected interest rate hike next week because of the economy's highly uncertain outlook. So, Larry, we appreciate you getting out there along with Janet Yellen, right? It's undoubtedly an accident that they're both on the tape on the same day, sort of telling Jerome to chill out so maybe he has a little bit of runway to turn the ship around. The Fed can do what the Fed wants. The Fed can say what the Fed wants to say. The market, its crypto market in particular, is like, these guys are done. They're done. They're either done because the economy's rolling over or they've done because they've broken something. And how about the US dollar? US dollar DXY down only. Everyone's waiting for this to go back up. Good luck. This is dollar index weekly. Dollar index could have reversed this week and closed back above 102. There might be some hope for the dollar next week if the Fed tries to talk tough. I got news for you. If the Fed comes out and talks tough and this does not rally, it's going from 102 to 99. It's like perfect sync. Last year, dollar was up only. Everyone's like, oh, it doesn't mean anything, or get out of crypto. Actually, that's what people said. Dollar up, out of crypto. Now it's like dollar down and no one's paying attention. Not only is it dollar down, but it's like dollar down only. And if you look at this chart structure, this whole emotional nonsense where Bloomberg was declaring the US dollar unstoppable up to like 114 in DXY, that was met with a lower high in the 13-week RSI. Now, with these divergences, in my experience, you'll get a divergence and there'll be an initial move. So the moves are usually sharp. But then after the oscillator gets kind of like oversold where you think the divergence trade might play out, there's another leg. There's another leg. It lulls you to sleep and thinks it's over, and then it's not. So this is not over on the downside this week. Jerome Powell makes this thing go up. I think everyone's going to sell it. And you may not even get it. You may not even get the uptick. It may just go straight down. Because I'm telling you, crypto's going to go straight up. So why would I think this is why would I think this is any different going the other way? 10-year government bond ETFs. So 10-year government bonds as represented in the equity market. So rates down, bonds up. Check this out. You have a 13 bottom. And for the month of January, this is a monthly chart. As of now, you've got the month of January confirming a bottom in 10-year bonds in the United States. How about a bond market bottom and a stock market bottom? Silly, right? Everything last year was a disaster. This is a confirmed reversal if bonds can hold their ground. Ark, Cathie Wood's index of highly speculative companies. Okay, this is a weekly chart. I should probably label that. Let me fix this. So if you look at a weekly chart of Ark, that's a group of highly speculative stocks or the altcoins of the equity market. 13 bottom, 5-wave, end of trend signal. Confirmed reversal at the start of the month, the start of the year. Massive up move this week. Possible correction next week. This is 6 more up weeks. Ark's probably going to go from 40 to 52 and attack the previous 4th wave, which is where the give up trade started, which probably means Tesla can smoke higher. And if Tesla can smoke higher, Coinbase's stock can smoke higher. Coinbase. Right. Cathie Wood took a lot of heat last year, and then she said, you know what? I'm buying Coinbase. This is like above 61. It's up only. The target I've got on the 4-hour chart is 73. How is Coinbase going to go from 60 to 73? Easy. Bitcoin's going to go right to 29K. I am convinced that the type of price action that you've seen in Hedera, Optimism, Aptos, you are going to see that move. You are going to see that kind of move in Bitcoin. Hut mining, right? Bitcoin miners. Can you find any resistance that matters? I mean, this thing was at $3.52 in August. And that's where the next diagonal resistance point comes in. MicroStrategy, the same thing. Why can't MicroStrategy just simply unwind, sell in May, and go away from last year? Bitcoin is fine. Bitcoin is probably in better shape than anything. Michael Saylor did not get liquidated. There was a false breakdown out of the bottom of a range. So even if MicroStrategy is just in this box between, I don't know, 135 and 370, they tried to break it down through the bottom of the box and it didn't work. It didn't work. So what's it going to do? It's going to go take out the top of the box because that's kind of how it works. You zoom back and forth. You're sitting here at 229. This has been up only. Okay. I mean, it was down only over here, right? I'm trying to tell people to get out up here. Then it's down only. I mean, what did this take? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It took 16 weeks. I'm sorry, 16 days. This is a daily chart. This is like 20 days, a month. Boom. This has got way more to go. It can just unwind itself at the same speed. Bitcoin dominance. Okay. Watch out in Bitcoin. This is one formation triggering another. So here we have an upward sloping wedge. Some people would have called this a bear flag, but it doesn't work that way in crypto. Crypto always breaks out of these formations on the upside. Okay. Bitcoin breaks out and the target is like 46%. So the target is over here. Now, if Bitcoin dominance goes to 26% or 46%, it's in this area, it's in this air pocket over here, right? Where Bitcoin dominance was down only from Celsius. So if Bitcoin dominance completes the target of this formation, it's going to move into an area where there's virtually no resistance. So when people say, oh, well, could Bitcoin do a God candle? Yeah. And we haven't seen it yet. And I'm actually starting to think this could be a weekly God candle. Like, how about 30% in 1 week? Boom. Why not? Like, it took a couple weeks for it to go up 40%. And how about we just go up 40% in 1 week? Anybody who knows the history of Bitcoin knows that this is possible. This is possible. Okay, Zoran is here. He is 52. There are more than 3 50-year-old people in crypto. Aruna is here. Welcome. Okay, Aruna is also asking, is sell in May and go away valid for 2023 as well? Not like last year. Okay, instead of sell in May and go away, I think it's accumulate in May and stay. Accumulate in May and stay, because I think the summer rally in crypto is going to be insane. Insane. Like, you're going to see the crypto bull market for 3 months. Then after the summer rally, that's when you get out. But there's going to be a very, very robust rally. Chris finally got some bark. Welcome. Kim is not getting notifications. We got to look into that. We got a bunch of people who are not getting them on YouTube. I got to find out what's up with that. Okay. Robert is here. Welcome. Electric Zach is here. Love to you as well. Love to you as well. Dollar Menu. Thank you. Okay. Joan says boo as in hello. Hello. Hello, Joan. Bitcoin Weekly. Using GAN and Fibonacci analysis. I did this both on my show and on Debate Crypto Show live, where I drew GAN angles and Fibonacci circle analysis at the same time. Said differently, I was just trying to match price and time. Price and time. Price and time indicate that you could have Bitcoin as high as 33K, right where the GAN lines, price, meets the circular lines, time. Think it can't happen? Well, they dropped it from 50 to 15. They can take it from 23 to 33. Bitcoin Monthly. Some subtle DeMark geek out possible. So Bitcoin Monthly, there was a 9 bottom. Okay, that was last year. Then the market started to count the other way. I started to count a bigger trend. I don't know how it could get any bigger. It could go to 0 if it did. I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, please tell me this is not happening. So you got the 9 bottom, and then it started to count, and it started the countdown phase. It went 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, somebody, a trader, it's not in the DeMark book, somebody would tell me that if you get the 9 bottom, all right, and then it continues to go down to a 4 and then reverses, that is a hard reversal. Very interesting when I found this. And of course, you got Bitcoin going the other way with this month being a 1 with the solid green candle. This is a reversal. Like as if we needed any more evidence that something major was going on in Bitcoin. Ethereum. Why is Ethereum at 1,600? Winter is over. Ethereum has climbed back up above a very important GAN line. The last time Ethereum climbed above this similar GAN line, the market retested it and then just took off. Naturally, the market has done a very difficult consolidation around the point, shaking everyone out, causing doubt. We love doubt. Doubt, bearishness, awesome. Last time you recovered above this line, it was like straight up to this pink line, like up only on a weekly chart. Don't see any reason why that can't happen again. They're either going to do it now or they're going to do it in the summer. I think the way this thing is trading, they're going to do it now. Hedge funds, institutional investors do not own enough crypto. Cramer says it's being manipulated. It's being manipulated? No. It's buyers overwhelming sellers. In equities, the overwhelming buyer was the Fed. In this case, it could be BlackRock, Coinbase, basically every crypto hedge fund. Every time you see a bunch of altcoins going up 15% in one day, hedge funds are missing it. Because these markets are liquid and these hedge funds are big and they're just grabbing anything they can get their hands on. And eventually, if they get behind the 8 ball enough, they're going to go after Bitcoin and Ethereum something fierce. I mean, if it went down last year and they lost money, okay. And then altcoins went up and they missed it. All right. If Bitcoin and Ethereum start going up and they miss that, they're closed. They will chase Bitcoin and Ethereum like, I don't know, like a dog chasing a car. They will chase it. Joe Mike is here. Welcome. Language trainer in the house. Hi. Hi there. Continuing in ETH. Right? ETHE. Just can't stop loving it. It's like a 70s disco song. 70s disco song. Last time ETHD did a reversal, it popped up to one of the fib speed resistance lines. I don't see this as being any different. Any different. This was a much bigger down move. ETHE currently trading at 7.5, something like that in the equity market. This is Ethereum in the equity market. That's going to 12. Not investment advice, but I mean, it's just going to go straight up until it finds resistance. And if I'm wrong, well, then we'll have the I'm wrong show. But until then, just come get me. Total 3 altcoins. Check this out. The Williams oscillator is now hanging out near 0. Right? The last time you saw this, look the way it does now, was at the absolute low at the start of the year. Total 3 is altcoin, this total crypto market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let me let this sink in. I'm saying to you, and you're saying to me that altcoins as a whole look exactly like they do when the rally started at the beginning of this year. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, total crypto market cap for altcoins could go up $40 billion. You could go from 364 to 404 billion. Total crypto market cap is doing a bump and run on a big Fibonacci speed resistance line. You could be talking about 981 billion to 1.32 trillion. Like, that's a lot. That's Bitcoin at 33K. just smoking to the upside, taking everything with it. Okay, Rudy, you did not miss the BTC update. I'm basically doing it right now with total crypto market cap. RC Rex is here 8 p.m. UK time, and we have 100 messages in the chat. Okay, I do consider VRA to be Web3. Southern California is here. Welcome. Ethereum 8-hour chart. Guess what? Williams oscillator looks exactly like it does at the absolute low at the January 9th takeoff point, and again today. What do you think is going to happen with crypto hedge funds when they get together and have a meeting on Sunday or maybe on Saturday where they go, Janet Yellen was on the tape saying we're done tightening. Larry Summers was on the tape saying we're done tightening. So if the Fed comes out and says anything like they're going to chill out or wait and see, where's this going to go? And we better get long now, because you know what? It's happened on weekends. If you just bought and sold crypto on weekends, you probably made a lot of money. Crypto makes highs and lows on weekends all the time. There is no way crypto hedge funds and big institutions can afford to go into next week and not be long. Remember all this stuff like JP Morgan saying, oh, Fed funds going to 6%. Retail investors should sell stocks during the most seasonally bullish period. If you look at it through presidential cycles, I'm pretty sure that was 2 or 3 streams ago. There's no supply of financial assets. Everyone's sold out. JP Morgan is trying to get you to sell your Bitcoin and your stocks to them. They don't have it. They don't have it. Either they don't have enough or they just flat out don't have it. Big players who need to be long to chase performance are not long crypto. Solana, still not getting off this train. Solana just doing a sideways consolidation. And I think if Solana can close today above 24, you're looking at 36. And 36 is not an outlandish number because that just unwinds the FTX debacle. FTX owned a lot of Solana. Hedge funds owned a lot of Solana. They dumped it. The network was supposedly dead. It's not dead. It's not worth 200, but it's not dead. I mean, they had an idea to come out with a phone that gave you airdrops. Do you think the guy that runs this thing is just going to lay down and play dead? Wrong Again is here along with Luis. Welcome. Jabberjaw in the house. People think this is over. It's just started. Just started. Now, Cardano. You know what? Every YouTuber wants to do analysis on Cardano and XRP because of the size of the community. I have an idea. Let's do analysis on Cardano that actually takes into account what Cardano can do. Cardano is a layer 1 that actually may be useful, like do things in healthcare. So there's Web3. Web3 is underpriced. Web2 is effed. We've talked about this. But what we haven't talked about is what can Cardano do? I remember being at Consensus, listening to Ben Armstrong, Bitboy, talk about his interview that he did for his channel with the guy who runs Cardano. And this is what he said. Ben Armstrong said the guy from Cardano believes everything he says about his project. In other words, the guy running Cardano was a very authentic individual. You have a low in Cardano. You have all this tax loss selling. You have a false breakdown below a GAN line. You have stochastics indicating that you have a false breakdown because you have lower lows in price here and higher lows in stochastics. Cardano is breaking back up, and the next resistance is at 58. This is an up-only coin. This is going to be up only. Now, I know people say that because they're catering to the audience, but look at this picture. Like, this is like wide open space over here. Wide open space. In other words, these guys could be the layer one for the next cycle that no one's talking about yet. I mean, if these guys ever came out with anything on this network with the size of the community and the fact that price is so depressed, okay, let me see. I had, okay, here's Cardano monthly. So here's the monthly chart using DeMark. You know, the move from the COVID lows to the high at $3, that's wave one. Based on the DeMark signal, there's the one. Then this thing goes down on a monthly basis. There's the wave two signal, probably hard to see. And then there's my little catchy DeMark thing where you get a 9 bottom and then it starts to accelerate the other way, but reverses on the 4 count. This is going to be an up month in Cardano. And this is going the other way. I mean, you realize that on a monthly chart, this could go to $1.76. Now ask yourself this, seriously. What TA guy or what market commentator is looking at you and saying, Bitcoin's going to 33K, ETH's going to 3,000, and Cardano's going to $1.76 sooner rather than later? It could happen now or it could happen in the summer. But when it happens, it's going to happen quickly. I would rather be loud now and get stopped out than be timid about this and have the thing go up only in everybody's face. It's it's reverse of last year. Last year, it was hard to get on television and be like, sell in May and go away. Get out, get out, get out, get out. It's a very hard message to stay with, particularly since the market tried to, you know, was like rallying in my face with ETH up at 3,600. It was a pain in the ass. It was stressful. Now, this is a little bit stressful in the other direction because everybody seems to be in line to doubt it. I put a tweet out that said, you know, 2022 was the dip. Everyone's like, oh my God, people are getting too bullish. People are getting too bullish. Did you see the stuff from Cramer? People aren't bullish enough. Okay, if you go back to FXS, right, something that, you know, people have really been digging, it can't go below 9.7. It's got support there, and it's not going below there. There's people buying the dip, even though this thing is at the high end of the range. So this looks like a top, but if 9.7 holds and it breaks out, it could go to 14. ICP is breaking out. This is a Bitboy coin, right? Bitboy was on ICP really early. Okay, well, you know, there's like 1.5 million people in Bitboy Nation. So if this thing is above 5.94, it can go to 7.12. You don't need institutions to move ICP. Retail can move ICP, and the institutions are going to have to follow. Okay, now someone's asking about XRP. I will get to that. I don't have it in a deck. I am writing that down. I am on a show on Thursdays, okay, with a guy called Magic Internet Money who likes XRP. It's interesting. His work and my work are totally different, but we came to the same conclusion. Avalanche. So what's the next resistance in Avalanche? Well, how about we keep it simple? How about 2562? Right? If you consider the extent of the damage in this, just down only, base, up only, the next target that I have very simply from complex diagonal lines is 2562. Monero, we were talking about privacy yesterday. Looky, above 173. 227 is possible. Privacy is going to be a narrative. It's either going to be Monero or it's going to be Zcash. It's going to happen. Why? Because there's a limited number of narratives as we get into crypto spring, right? Like I tried to get into the blockchain angle on the commodity side by going to work for Gold Retriever. So there's commodities on the blockchain, there's privacy, there's things that make ETH scale and Bitcoin. And then somewhere in there is going to be the metaverse. I know everyone's chasing Chat GPT at the moment. That makes me want to go to the metaverse even more. When you're in the metaverse, who do you think you're going to be talking to? Other people or AI? The metaverse is an AI play. Right on cue, Sandbox on a 4-hour chart gliding towards a moving average support from a combination DeMark GAN hybrid system. Kind of hits 70 cents and kind of has that green perky bid to it. Man, you better watch out in this stuff. I'm telling you. Sandbox could easily trade at $1. And if you think nobody owns Bitcoin and Ethereum, everybody's chasing AI. I think smart money is probably selling AI, whatever that is, right? Because you've got BuzzFeed saying, oh, we're using Chat GPT and the stocks are going up 30%, right? When people start doing that, sell that narrative, right? Sell that narrative and put it where? Back into this stuff that everyone's given up on. Just like everybody gave up on Amazon in 2002. Warren Buffett wouldn't touch the Google IPO in 2004. Nobody wanted housing or commercial real estate in 2009. Completely toxic. Don't ever touch it. Can't get a loan to buy a house. 10 years later, what'd you have? You had, massive housing froth. Now it's the other way. I do a TikTok about a housing crash in Austin that gets 145,000 views in 3 days. Meanwhile, the post right next to it about buying the dip in crypto has only got 900 views. And the only reason it's got that many views is because people are scrolling the feed or scrolling the page after watching the big video. Everybody is bearish. No one is bullish. Polkadot, you thought I forgot. 638 is a good support level. It doesn't want to go below that. 721 is next. Total crypto market cap or altcoin market cap expands. I think there's 3 or 4 big plays. Polkadot, XRP, Cardano, and Solana. Those could be the 4 monster moves, and that is the PowerPoint market update. Now, let's get over to XRP. Okay. All right, so here comes XRP. And there's a couple ways to look at this. So this is XRP weekly. And what you've got here is a base. Similar to the base you had from 2020. You've got the Williams oscillator near zero and perking up, which I like.
Not sharing screen.
Not sharing the screen. Sorry. Don't have the big horn that we had last time. Okay, so XRP does a subtle breakout. It does what I've seen before, which is like a breakout and then it comes off as people sell. Meanwhile, if, say, 38 cents holds, your upside is 67 cents. Now, I know there's regulatory risk with this, but I'm over it. This is an alternative payment system. Here are your choices. You can have XRP as a payment alternative to SWIFT, or you can have something invented by the Chinese and the Russians. So assuming the SEC doesn't wipe XRP off the planet, I think this is going up. If I'm wrong, they take it below, say, 38 cents. Well, then I'll have to recompute. How is Total 3 going to go up $400 billion? Total altcoin market cap, how's it going to go up $400 billion? Think about that, and then think about the coins that you might want to look at. Okay, Eric C is into XRP. Wrong again is like carrying me out. Okay, I think that phrase may gain some some traction, right? Jazz Gill says Cody should run with ADA Cardano. Okay, so let's get over here. Kim Craig says gearing up for the age of Aquarius. Interesting. Okay. Daniel J says it's Friday and time to crush it. Okay. Greg Smith notes that $36 is where Solana was after their developer conference days before the FTX shoe dropped. Fascinating, as Mr. Spock would say. They're just going to unwind everything related to SBF. Everything. Okay, somebody is asking how many of these pumps are attributed to the Asian markets. Okay, that's a good question. I don't know. It's not shocking. It's not shocking that Asia might be buying Bitcoin. I mean, as I understand it, the lights are out in Pakistan. Like, they have a currency crisis and an energy crisis. And my heart goes out to those people. Okay. Someone is asking why my camera is inverted. Not sure. We'll take a look. We'll take a look. I think that's better. How about that? Okay, I think I saw some requests in here. I think somebody was asking about H-bar. So let's go through it. Let's try the 4-hour chart. Okay, I'm almost there. All right, so obviously a monster rally in this. Okay, now hidden pivot analysis. Okay, H-bar has got to take out 0.073. Continue the rally. I think what people are doing in these parabolic coins is they're going to take profits and rotate them into something else and then come back to them. Okay, Enjin Coin, we were looking at this yesterday. Okay, very similar structures. Okay, let's go to DeMark. Let's just see what the DeMark looks like on intraday charts. So we had a lot of, we had a lot of chart work on monthly and weekly charts, which will have a shelf life. So if you're catching the stream later on, those monthly and weekly charts, they will have a shelf life. 4-hour Enjin Coin, right? DeMark support near 41 cents, or it should have been resistance. Now it's a floor, and it's starting to count the other way. I mean, whatever these small coins, man, if they go up and go sideways, anything that goes up and goes directly sideways, like in a box, not that I need to draw a box, but let's draw it anyway. Anything that goes sideways like this, when I would draw ETH by hand with a pencil, okay, ETH going sideways, altcoins going sideways means it can go up only. I saw IoTeX. Let me see if I get that here. Okay, so that's a 4-hour chart. Similar look, although you do have the 13 top here. You might get a rally to 0.0372 because what I've seen in these altcoins is they can have these emotional blow-off tops. This was pretty emotional. Let's look at the daily chart, see if there's anything interesting there. So, again, in IoTeX, you got the 13 top. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going lower, but it may be an opportunity to rotate the profits into something else. Like, I don't have a problem if you caught some huge parabolic move in an altcoin, taking some of that money and rotating it into a bigger coin. Okay, somebody wants to know if there's hope for ApeCoin. There absolutely is. Okay. So right now, ApeCoin is at resistance. It's actually managed to unwind all the damage since September, which in a way is like a leading indicator. Like, can you imagine if Ethereum unwound all the damage since September? So ApeCoin weekly, it's above a key support point. Okay, there is resistance at $7. You know what, folks? Don't doubt that this is the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? If you go to a daily chart and just like sort of zoom out here, I mean, this went all the way up and all the way down. So this was this blow off top was how you knew that, you know, crypto was going to blow up because of the mania around ApeCoin in April. So this was the mania that ended crypto. Now it bases. Oh my God. Let's just take the sequential off this. I mean, this is like, this belongs in a book for the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Because all you need is one metaverse announcement. Okay. UFO Gaming was looking at this the other day, right? Okay. Chili's. Noticing people are really interested in this, and as things start waking up here, okay, I'm getting more and more altcoin requests as stuff starts to wake up. If I got the right symbol, it's CHZ. Very interesting how support at 0.133 is holding. Okay, your ultimate upside target in this could be close to 0.169 or 17 cents. In other words, there are a lot of coins that people don't believe in. Don't believe. I'm going to look at IoTeX. I think I did it on DeMark. I'll try to do it here. Okay, IoTeX perched on support near 0.031. If it doesn't go back below 0.031, it's 0.037. This would again unwind. This is November. So this is IoTeX 4 hour. Okay, this is November. In other words, I'd appreciate you tuning into the show. Obviously. YouTube channel. Crypto.Nolan. Everything is going to unwind what it did prior to FTX. FTX was the black swan of black swans. Once in 20-year fraud. You had Enron in 2001, and you had FTX in 2022. We'll see it in 20 years on black swans. Nobody wanted to touch tech stocks back then. Nobody wanted to touch internet stocks back then. And nobody wants to touch crypto now. Which is why it's up only. It's up only. VeChain returns. See what we can get on VeChain. God, you would think with all these supply chain issues that something like VeChain would be able to recover. Wow, look at this. VeChain up only. Notice Chinese stock indexes were coming back too. Thing that's real interesting in VeChain is you got the 13 top. You did get the blow off, but no one cares. No one cares about the top signals, which is very important. Nobody cares about the 13 top on the daily chart of Bitcoin. I mean, this is your 13, but this is VeChain weekly. 13 bottom, 9 bottom, confirmed bottom 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. 0.028 is next. You might get a dip next week. You might. Right? You might. Okay. You also might not. You might get a monster rally at the end of this week. Okay. Somebody needs to get more GALA games. I saw my YouTube analytics service recommending a title about GALA games and the tanks that they have in those games. Perhaps a disadvantage of being a 50-year-old guy in crypto, and that I did not know what those tanks were. But if you know what the tanks are in GALA games that the analytics service is referring to, please feel free to educate me and drop a comment. Okay, GALA games is back where it was in September, so it's unwound a lot of damage. Okay, but if you look at the weekly chart, again, GALA actually bottomed before everything else did. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we were on the stream right here looking at this going, wow, this looks like a bottom. If GALA does dip, it'll be to 0.044. My sense is looking at this is that there isn't any resistance until you get up into the 7-cent range. And what's happening here is simple. It's going to go to 7 cents. People are taking profits now, but what they don't realize is basically all they're doing is creating a return move to a prior resistance point. The ceiling at 0.044 is now the floor. So if there was a dip this week, what's a dip? Well, it goes all the way up. People take profits and it comes back. People are used to a dip being a big red candle or a big down day. I don't think you're going to see those until March or late February. Yeah, I mean, there are going to be down days in crypto, but I think there's got to be massive FOMO on the upside first. Okay? Seriously. Okay, Rose. Okay, so all of this is going to look the same on the weekly chart. The question is, where's resistance? Where is resistance? Is there any? Okay, so right here, Rose is consolidating below 0.056. And if it gets through that, there's absolutely nobody home to stop this thing until 0.068.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Sometimes in the bull market, this is a good case study. Sometimes in the bull market, when you would get these consolidations below resistance, that was when you had to buy them because when they finally broke out, it was too late. Now, again, there has been a rather robust rally in this. Okay, a rather robust rally. So it remains to be seen whether this thing can break through. Now, if you were hodling this, right, you were caught from way back when, leave it. You know, not investment advice, but again, the FTX trade is going to get unwound. And I'll tell you something else that's radical for everybody who's stuck around. I think they're going to unwind Celsius too. I think this is going to wind up at 11 cents. In other words, everything that happened off Celsius is going to get unwound. Celsius, the whole liquidation debacle. Basically, all we did in crypto last year was remove speculative, irresponsible, centralized entities. We don't need centralized entities in crypto like banks or even like big exchanges. We don't need venture capital firms that gamble people's money. We don't need it. Crypto went up just fine in 2017 without all that. Bitcoin has gone up a bunch of times without all that. Let the market decide what these things are worth. Don't let the negative disaster stuff deter you. Okay, MATIC did take a look at that yesterday. They put me on the spot on one of the shows. So here's a 13 top in MATIC. This is the daily chart, right? That gives me a little bit of pause. You've got resistance at $1.26. But as you can see, there was a dip today in MATIC and they brought it right back quick. I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, well, there's a pause signal, but no one's pausing. No one's pausing. right? Matic should have, should stop maybe at $1.22. If Matic was any other coin, I might look at this and go, all right, well, this did unwind all of its trade and blah, 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 blah. You know what? Short sellers hated this thing. I mean, there are guys on Twitter they were going to pound on this thing until it went to zero. And if that's the case, then you may have a lot of people who don't own this or are trying to fight it on the way up or don't think they have to buy it, whichever way you want to slice it. So $1.26 is possible in Matic. I think if I was going to be a pig and just hold on and never sell, quotes, just hold on for the God candle, it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And maybe Solana. Okay. Now, Lucas is like, what's your 100x coin bet? Wow, that question is back. Okay, well, I already solved that problem because for the first time in 4 years in crypto, I found something that I like, that I think is going to go up a lot over time. I work there. I own this. I've had it for a while. It's called Gold Retriever. I am currently the director of research at this project. GLDN is going to be a native token for a commodities-based DEX. So in other words, you need ETH to trade on Uniswap, right? You're going to need GLDN to buy commodities on a commodities DEX. What commodities? How about water? You're like, what? Yeah, water. Like water from Greenland, where Gold Retriever has a license, and it's going to take water from Greenland, and people are going to buy water, and we're going to price water in BARC. You're like, huh? Yeah. So you buy an NFT, it's priced in ETH, right? Oh, my NFT, the floor is 0.4 ETH. That makes sense, right? Well, how about a metric ton of water costs so much BARC? BARC is going to be the water pricing token that creates a free market for water to allow it to move from one place to the other, just like the market for oil, beans, wheat, corn, whatever. And of course, you can look up, I just gave one of our analysts about 25 web links about, serious lack of infrastructure investment. So it's pretty funny. See if I can find this again. It's pretty funny. White House calls on Congress to step up its efforts on crypto regulation. Hey, homie, how about you step up efforts to improve water infrastructure for places that don't have it? Well, we're not going to sit around and wait for the government. BARC, 12 cents. GLDN, 88 cents. Low market cap, low liquidity. I own these tokens. As a reminder, with all microcap altcoins, they can go to zero. Personally, I'm waiting for GLDN. I'm waiting for the Bollinger Bands to get really tight, right? I'm waiting for volatility to just shrink. And then in Q2, on our Twitter spaces, we've been talking about releasing the commodities DEX. By the way, Gold Retriever also has multiple business models involving the Diamond District in New York City. That revenue from jewelry sales on chain will go to burn GLDN. Not burn. I'm sorry. It'll go towards a GLDN buyback. So whatever business Gold Retriever gets into, whether it's water or jewelry on chain, revenue from the business goes to buy back the native tokens. By the way, this token in the form of auto staking pays you in Pax Gold. So there's slippage to get in, but it pays you in Pax, which is actual gold for auto staking, unlike other earlier DeFi protocols that just printed their token as a reward. That is my 100x play. I own it. I work there. That should say everything. Pat, how you doing? Lucas, thank you. Here today, gone tomorrow. Welcome. Welcome. Bitboy Al is here. Hi. How you doing? Okay, those are the charts that matter. Those charts, those weekly and monthly charts, they're going to matter for weeks and months. Stay tuned right here for more charts, more news, and a take on the market that, if I may say so, you can't get anywhere else. I'm Bill Noble. We'll see you next week.